down and put 3 holes right through that old man's chest.
Outlaw Westerns, hands up. A term we are all versed in hearing and seeing. A Western wouldn't be very entertaining if there wasn't a bad guy, the black hat, to contrast the white-hatted protagonist. Today, we will take a look at movies and actors who portrayed these villains that would take advantage of the normal folk of the day. Hands up. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel as well. I appreciate it. Let's get into it. .310 to Yuma, 1957, directed by Delmer Daves. A Western starring Glenn Ford and Van Heflin, based on the 1953 short story of the same name by Elmore Leonard. The plot concerns an impoverished rancher who takes on the risky job of escorting a notorious outlaw to justice. In 2012, the film was selected for preservation in the United States on the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The film was remade in 2007, directed by James Mangold and starring Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. The title song, .310 to Yuma, was written by George Dunning, music, and Ned Washington, lyrics, and sung at the beginning and end of the film by the noted Western and country music singer Frankie Lane.
Last night, I got to thinking maybe someday I'd like to have a wife. Must be real nice having a couple of boys like that to ride out with every morning. End of the line, mister.
The Quick and the Dead, 1995, directed by Sam Raimi. A revisionist western starring Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio. The story focuses on the lady, Stone, a gunfighter who rides into the frontier town of Redemption. Controlled by John Herod, Hackman joins a deadly dueling competition in order to exact revenge for her father's death. Sharon Stone signed on both as star and co-producer. Development was fast-tracked after director Sam Raimi's hiring. Received mixed reviews from critics. In later years, the film has earned critical praise, especially for the performances, direction, cinematography, and musical score, with some critics noting it is underrated in Raimi's catalogue.
She can play their game. Want to play poker with me, little lady?
Looks like you're having a pretty good time playing with yourself.
She can beat their odds. Did you ever kill anyone?
Sure.
I don't think you have. But there's one thing she can't do. Why are you really here? You're no gunfighter.
Some people deserve to die.
TriStar Pictures presents Sharon Stone.
I'm gonna kill you if I have to ride all the way to hell to do it.
Gene Hackman.
There's nothing on this earth that frightens me now. Nothing.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hey, Muppet.
In a film by Sam Raimi. The Quick and the Dead. In this town, you're either one
Unforgiven, 1992, produced and directed by Clint Eastwood. A Western starring Eastwood as William Money, an aging outlaw and killer who takes on one more job years after turning to farming. Co-stars Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and Richard Harris. Grossing over $159 million on a budget of $14.4 million, receiving critical acclaim, with praise for the acting, particularly from Eastwood and Hackman, directing, editing, and cinematography, winning 4 Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Director for Eastwood, Best Supporting Actor for Hackman, and Best Film Editing for Joel Cox. Eastwood was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance. but lost out to Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman, the third Western to win Best Picture, following Cimarron 1931 and Dances with Wolves 1990. Eastwood dedicated the film to directors and mentors Sergio Leone and Don Siegel.
Oh, I guess they have it coming.
We all have it coming, kid.
Some legends will never be forgotten. Some wrongs can never be forgiven.
Any man don't want to get killed. Better clear on out the back.
The Proposition, 2005, directed by John Hillcoat. An Australian Western written by screenwriter and musician Nick Cave. Stars Guy Pearce, Ray Winston, Emily Watson, John Hurt, Danny Houston, and David Wenham. In 1880s Australia, Charlie Burns and his gang engage in a gunfight with the police. All the gang members except for Charlie and his younger brother, Mikey, are killed. Captain Morris Stanley tells Charlie that he will have Mikey executed by Christmas. Stanley offers to free both Mikey and Charlie if Charlie agrees to kill his older brother, Arthur Burns, who is wanted for rape and murder. Mikey remains in custody while Charlie sets out to kill their brother. During a raid, the police capture some Aboriginals who call Arthur a dog man, and no one goes near his cave.
Love. Love is the key. Love and family.
The Outlaw JY Wales, 1976, directed by Clint Eastwood. A revisionist western set during and after the American Civil War. Stars Clint Eastwood as Josie Wales, with Chief Dan George, Sondra Locke, Bill McKinney, and John Vernon. During the Civil War, Josie Wales, a Missouri farmer turned soldier, seeks revenge for the death of his family, gaining a reputation as a gunfighter. At the end of the war, his group surrenders but are massacred. Wales becomes an outlaw, pursued by bounty hunters and soldiers. The film was a success, earning $31.8 million against a $3.7 million budget. In 1996, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
There's no turning back.
You're all alone now, Wales.
Not quite alone.
He lives by the gun. He lives by his word. And he lives for revenge. He's an army of one.
Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, 1973, directed by Sam Peckinpah. The revisionist western starring James Coburn, Chris Christopherson, Richard Jekyll, Katie Jurado, Chill Wills, Barry Sullivan, Jason Robards, Slim Pickens, and Bob Dylan, about an aging Pat Garrett, Coburn, hired as a lawman by wealthy New Mexico cattle barons to bring down his old friend, Billy the Kid, Christopherson. Dylan composed the score and songs for the film, most prominently Knockin' on Heaven's Door, which was released on its soundtrack album the same year and nominated for a Grammy Award for Album of Best Original Score, Dylan. The film was noted for behind-the-scenes battles between Peckinpah and the studio. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, soon after completion, the film was taken away from the director and substantially re-edited, resulting in a truncated version, released to theatres and largely disowned by cast and crew members. Peckinpah's preview version was released on video in 1988, leading to a re-evaluation, with many critics hailing it as a mistreated classic and one of the era's best films.
Chris Christopherson.
Come on in, Pat.
Jason Robards. Slim Pickens. Katy Jurado. Jack Elam.
That'd be me.
Wills.
Yeah.
And introducing in his first dramatic motion picture performance,
Plums.
Bonnie's killed Bell. Bonnie's killed Bell.
Yeah, it's killed me too.
Sheriff Pat Garrett.
Adios.
The Hateful Eight, 2015. Directed by Quentin Tarantino. A western starring Samuel L. Jackson, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Walter Goggins, Demian Bichir, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, and Bruce Dern, as 8 dubious strangers who seek refuge from a blizzard in a stagecoach stopover sometime after the American Civil War. Tarantino conceived it as a novel and a sequel to his 2012 film Django Unchained, before deciding to make it a standalone film. After the script leaked in January 2014, he decided to abandon the production and publish it as a novel instead. In April 2014, Tarantino directed a live reading of the script at the United Artists Theatre in Los Angeles, before reconsidering a new draft and resuming the project. Filming began in January 2015. Italian composer Ennio Morricone composed the original score, his first completed Western score in 34 years, and the last before his death in 2020. His first for a high-profile Hollywood production since 2000, and the first and only original score for a Tarantino film.
Now we're talking!
Let's slow it down. Let's slow it way down.
You know I'm coming!
When you get to hell, tell him Daisy sent you.
Come on! You gon' die now!
No one said this job's supposed to be easy.
Nobody said it's supposed to be that hard, neither.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, directed by George Roy Hill. A Western buddy film basically loosed on facts, telling the story of the Wild West outlaws. Robert Leroy Parker, known as Butch Cassidy, Paul Newman, and his partner, Harry Longabar, the Sundance Kid, Robert Redford, who are on the run from a US posse after a string of train robberies. The pair and Sundance's lover, Etta Place, Catherine Ross, flee to Bolivia to escape the posse. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were ranked 20th greatest heroes on AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains, and selected by the American Film Institute as the 7th greatest Western of all time in the AFI's Top 10 list in 2008.
They robbed trains.
Stop it!
Looted banks.
Manos arriba! They got him up! Ah, you're so damn smart, you read it.
And one girl shared their love and larceny.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head.
What are you doing? Stealing your woman? Take her. Boy, you're a romantic bastard, I'll give you that.
Then, Mr. E.H. Harriman of the Union Pacific put the top lawmen in the West on their trail.
They're very good! If he'd just pay me what he's spending to make me stop robbing him, I'd stop robbing.
They were outlaws, running out of time and out of space, and a changing world was closing in on them. From the American West to the dangerous new frontier of Bolivia.
Bolivia? Well, he'll feel a lot better after he's robbed a couple of banks. I'll jump first. And you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you?
The Wild Bunch, 1969. Director, Sam Peckinpah. Some years before Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, Sam Peckinpah made what is often considered his greatest film with The Wild Bunch. The main characters here made up a gang of outlaws who are generally starting to feel like their best years are behind them, and they may need to pull off one final score to call it quits. Other people and, or fate itself, have other plans, and complications ensue, as does a great deal of bloodshed. At the time it was released, The Wild Bunch was considered shockingly violent, and though it's been exceeded in that department by other films since, it still has the capacity to shock and awe viewers to some extent. It's up there with the greatest movies made in the 1960s, and films about bands of outlaws trying to get by during unforgiving and brutal times. Don't get much better than this.
But there were still a few trails for the kind who'd be cold before they were tame. They called them the Wild Bunch. Pike had been a gentleman of principle. He still had a principle or two.
We're not getting rid of anybody. We're gonna stick together just like it used to be. When you side with a man, you stay with him, and if you can't do that, you're like some animal. You're finished.
Dutch had dug for gold. He gave up digging.
How many cases did you take from the train? 18 cases of rifles. We lost one on the trail.
He stole it.
Lo quiero vivo! Thornton should have been a lawyer. He always argued.
Hold it! Relax, it's just some champagne we ordered.
Sykes had been a gunman in his day. He still had the gun.
We gotta get him back! How?
Gorch had been trying for years. Sometimes he almost worked up to no.
I want you to meet my fiancée.
The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, 1966, directed by Sergio Leone. Italian spaghetti western, starring Clint Eastwood as the good, Lee Van Cleef as the bad, and Eli Wallach as the ugly. Known for Leone's use of long shots and close-up cinematography, as well as his iconic use of violence, tension, and stylized gunfights. The plot revolves around three gunslingers competing to find a fortune in buried Confederate gold amid the chaos of the American Civil War, while participating in many battles, confrontations, and duels along the way. The film was the third collaboration between Leone and Clint Eastwood, and the second with Lee Van Cleef.
The blue. The gray. The Civil War. The bad, the ugly, the questions, the answers. The showdown. The reason, the goal.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.